Today we're going to be installing the SB4K version 2 aka Christmas board in this bird. And by the way, after I put this one in here, there's only one left, then it's back to SB4Ks for a while. So what I do is I tape my template on like so. Getting it lined up. It looks pretty good. And I'll take a gouge and mark my buttonholes, and then take a drill bit, a small drill bit, and then drill a pilot hole in those, and usually use a big drill bit in here, put 2 or 3 holes in there, and then just hog out the rest of the material with the Dremel tool. So I'm going to do that now. So when I get to this point where I've got my holes drilled and I've got this part, kind of roughed out, I rough it out to the edges right here, and I've done this enough times to be able to take off the template now, and I know how far down and up to go. So I'm going to do that. So that's about all the work we're going to do with the Dremel tool. From here on out, in forming this window, I'm going to use some micro files. Okay, we've finished the cutting on our housing, and when you finish up, just make sure and remove any burrs on the inside here. And if you want to, at this point, do a test fit, here's how you do it. These boards drop in a lot easier with the battery tabs angled forward just a little bit. Put it in there. Bring your wires over to the side like you would be installing it. Tuck them right in there. Get your slider, put it over the window, because that's going to push it down a little bit. And that looks good to me. I don't know how well you can see it, but yeah, great. So now, what we need to do is take all that out and fit this with a piece of Lexan, plexiglass, lucite, whatever you have. I include a small piece for you. And if you want to make things easier on yourself, you could glue it in, but if you're a glutton for punishment like I am, I press fit all the ones I do. So I'm gonna go do that now. Okay, I think it's time for the big push. We'll see. Not quite. Let's give it another shot. And we're in. Alright, now that we're to this point, what I like to do is take a contour gauge and go in here, you know, up to this side, and get the contour of the bottom using this contour gauge. I'll show you why I do that in just a minute. Okay. Now I've got the contour there, and what I'm going to do is transfer that contour to a piece of this fiberglass reinforced packaging tape, and then I'm going to cut out these 2 notches on it, and then slide the piece of tape down in there and stick it to it, and then I'm going to cut out from the inside the jack hole. The reason I do this is for the buttons, give them something to stick in. I used to epoxy them to the back of you know, some flexible plastic, but I found that this actually works better and the buttons are quieter. It actually gives you a stronger bond. Now that we've got it backed with our tape and the hole cut out for the jack, it's time to put the buttons in. So just support each one as you put them in. Give it a nice firm press. And that's that. And at this point, what I like to do is put the board in and just go ahead and make sure that the buttons are all in the right spot. And these batteries are just a little bit longer than a AA. So what you need to do with them is bend your tabs up and out and grind the edge off. I'll go ahead and do one of them and leave it next to the other one, so I'll show you what I'm talking about, because if you don't, they'll get stuck there. They can't slide. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's the negative side, and it's not gonna, there's a little negative symbol there that it can't pass over. You see how that one's bent out and is actually shorter? Gonna do that to the other one now. Now it's time to put the board in. There's a layer of plastic, a little film over the display. You don't have to take it off. I just like the way it looks better with it off. Now we're just going to go ahead and pop the batteries in it and just make sure it's all working. Negative in on this side. Positive end goes in first on the other side. If you get this mixed up, you're going to burn a sacrificial diode in here. Your board's going to be okay, but the diode will have to be replaced. And also, if you choose to do this, just make sure that you've got some insulation on your solenoid wires. And all of our buttons are functioning properly, and it's firing. So now we can put it back together.